Look at that guy. See that guy? Today, we're not gonna be like that guy. Let's go fishing. Today, we're going to talk about the stupidest mistakes that you can make while fishing. Using a sand spike keeps it so your rod doesn't fly into the water. When you dig a hole and put your rod into the hole and a fish pulls it, your reel is going to hit the sand and your rod is going to go flying into the water. Bad idea. Okay, first of all, that rig is a pretty terrible looking rig. The fact that the hook is connected to a clip like that, to me, it looks really bad because when a fish sees all that extra hardware, it's a lot less likely to bite. So what I like to tie on is a high-low rig. One of these pre-tied ones work really well because it's very inconspicuous. It's just a hook and line. There's no metal bits everywhere. It's just a very thin line and two hooks dangling off the end. That's all you need. It's really simple. That kind of rig looks really bad. You'll catch less fish, and you'll spend more time sitting there waiting for nothing to happen. This is the worst way you can do it. Right through the head. Maybe if they're live, but not when you're fishing like this, because when a fish bites it, it just takes the whole thing in 1 second. Oh, got nothing on there. So what you should do instead, peel the shrimp, put it on like this. You want to loop it through as many times as you can. I hooked it through 3 times here. See how the hook is completely hidden? That's the way to hook a shrimp. And use this threading to wrap your shrimp up. There we go. And this rig is infinitely better than the other rig that guy's using. Because the hooks are hidden, it's tied onto the hook so the fish can't just pull it off in 1 second. And there's a lot less tackle here, so the fish are going to be less suspicious. This is pretty much invisible. All they're going to see and smell is the bait. So this rig is the high-low rig, and we sell it already pre-tied. And I tie these up especially so that you guys can just come out here and start catching fish right away. I call this the catch-all rig because with this, you can catch all kinds of fish. And I've caught so many kinds of fish using this rig because of how simple it is and how stealthy it is. Just 2 hooks, circle hooks that set themselves, really light line, and a perfect swivel at the end so you can throw heavier sinkers or light sinkers. This is, in my opinion, the most versatile rig. Now let's talk about casting. A common problem is I see people casting as far as they can and not taking any kind of aim. That's kind of like taking a blind shot. You want to look at the water, you want to see where there's going to be a hole, and you can find a hole just by watching the waves. Where the waves are crashing and you see the white foam, that's a sandbar. If you cast on top of that, that's not a hole. In front of that, where the waves stop crashing and it starts to look flat again, that's where there's a hole. And it's a deeper spot right there. That's where I'm going to be looking. And that happens to be a lot closer in. Now, I've noticed a lot of people holding their reel like this, and I had no idea why for the longest time, but I think I figured it out. If you're one of these people who hold the reel like this, answer me in the comments below. Is it because you're left-handed and you need to hold it this way to reel in with your right hand? Because if so, here's the solution. You can change the side of your handle just by twisting this off. And voila. Wait, this is the same side it was on. Oops. Why didn't you say something? I'm getting a bite right now. And then put it on this side. And now you don't have to hold it this way anymore. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? So I don't want to see anyone holding it upside down anymore. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's something nice. I'm doing it left-handed too. It feels weird. I wonder what it is. I hope it's a speckled trout. What was it, Jack? Jack Crevalle. This is a Jack Crevalle. This is just a small one. They work really well as bait. They don't taste very good. And there's really no function for a thing like this other than a piece of bait. But I'm gonna let this guy go. Another fun fact about Jacks is they get enormous and they get very strong. That one fought pretty hard for such a small fish. I thought it was a bigger fish than it was. We're on. See, I let it eat for a second first before just running up and setting it. Because sometimes you're too fast and the fish doesn't even have the bait in its mouth yet. You need to make sure it's in his mouth first so that you can actually hook it, especially if there's smaller fish. Let's see what we got here.
Bruh.
Catfish. But still, I got him. Something I see with catfish is that people are really scared to touch it, which you should be, because these barbs are venomous and they'll stick into you and it hurts. But you have to get it off. So let me show you how to actually get off the hook. Hold the hook itself, and you see these two barbs making this shape like this? You want to slide your hand under it like this, right? And then push this spike down, and there's no way it can hook you from there. From there, you just take it out. Do not throw the catfish. You'll cut yourself on it. These barbs are really venomous. See, now it's on because I just left it there for a second. Don't reel it all the way in just because you missed it the first time. All right, let's see if it's another species. What do we got here? Bluefish. Now that's good bait. This is a bluefish. These get pretty big. I like to eat them. People say they're junk fish, but those people, they don't know how to cook them. So they call them junk fish. People like to call fish junk fish when they don't know how to cook them. But to me, this is gonna be bait. That's why I have this big rod set up. Now we're gonna hook it through the nose like this. Then we'll put a sinker on here. We'll attach the hook to the sinker like that. This way you can cast it further. Now I'm gonna cast this out and hopefully we get a big fish. I saw mullets out there. Okay, let me tell you about another really dumb mistake. And I am guilty of making this mistake from time to time. You set the drag too tight and the line doesn't pull out, right? You have a big bait on a line in a spike holder. Now, when it's so tight that it doesn't give any drag, it pulls the whole rod into the water and you lose your rod. So always set your drag loose so that when a fish pulls it, it doesn't pull it out of your rod holder and you don't lose your rod. All right, another issue is using a steel leader like that is so thick. Just to catch bluefish, it's really limiting how many fish you can really catch. The steel leader, when a fish sees that, they shy away. So fish like speckled trout, red drum, black drum, when they see it, they get spooked. They don't want to eat it because they're suspicious. Not so much in Texas because the water's so dirty they can't tell the difference. I shouldn't say dirty, let's call it stained. It's so stained that the fish can't see the actual leader itself. But here in Florida, the water is a lot clearer and the fish are a lot more suspicious. So instead of using something like that, I use a leader like this. It's a long shank hook, so even if it is a bluefish or something with sharp teeth, it'll bite onto the shank and not onto the actual leader. The good part about using something like this is it can catch bluefish, but can also catch a ton of other fish because they're not going to be line shy. It's not showing a big thick leader right here. It's a nice thin leader line, and I can just buy the hooks and put them on my high-low rigs too. They're called long shanked hooks. And what I'm going to do here is the same thing. There we go. Now if a fish bites it, it'll bite this metal shank rather than the actual line. So if you're worried that your line's getting bitten off, don't go straight to using a steel leader. Go to using a long shanked hook. That's a wave. I'm on! That's not a fish. That's a wave. Got a fish, got a fish. Huh? I don't know what happened. That's a wave. That's not a fish. I got one. I got one. Told ya. That's just a wave. Again, that's not a fish. Ain't getting away this time. All right, come on. Come on, Pappy. I got one. Son. So the reason why I'm always wearing long sleeves, holy shit. Damn it, missed the fish. The reason why I'm always wearing long sleeves, a buff, a hat, and like quick dry material is not just to look good. I do think it looks good, but the reason why is I don't want the sun to touch my skin. A lot of times we don't realize how powerful the sun is, and just because we tan well does not mean you can't get skin cancer. So really, I want to advise you guys, if you're not going to wear a shirt, at least put sunscreen on. It's really important to protect yourself from the UVs of the sun. Stay safe, guys. Look. Fish! Let him cook, let him cook. All right, fish is on. Oh yeah, we're on. We're on something nice, guys. This is an entire bluefish out here. Whoa, it's moving really fast to the right. Whoa, it's thrashing. Wow, that was really quick. I just casted this out. Big fish. Swimming in. Don't walk into that.
Watch out your rod.
Time I use a steel leader is when I'm catching sharks. Look at that. Look at the teeth on this bad boy. You don't want to get your hand in there. Let's let him go. Woo! That was crazy. Ton of fun out here. The action is hot, and it's really easy to fish when you know these general little rules like this. So follow these tips and tricks, and you can get out here and you can catch a ton of fish. Super easy. All you need to do is have the right rigs, have the right etiquette, and just know these few little tips.